It's first solo album for like 17 years. There's no quirky reason really for there not having been a solo album for so long. It's just that the time is now. And Blank Project is about, for me, about being in the now. It's about processing life, and with its quirks, you know. It's black, it's blues, it's darks, it's laughs. You know, writing songs, making music is definitely medicinal for me. It's the only way that I resolve certain aspects of my being. And Blank Project, I think it is a title of one of the songs on the record, and I just think that it summed up kind of the spirit of the album, like where you start and where you finish, in a way, you know. Well, I think, yeah, the raw edge is definitely the kind of spirit of the record, was to make it kind of unprocessed and to just go in and make it almost like in a stream of consciousness. And of course, Rocket Number 9, who are the instrumentation and that are making the music on the record, the band Rocket Number 9, I mean, they're very much a live electronic band. And so what we were doing once we were putting the songs together was really about that energy in a way. And Kieran Hebden, who produced the record, was interested in recording that. And the reason why we made it in 5 days was, yes, to do it kind of quickly. It didn't seem like we needed more time, but also because Kieran only had 5 days off. so it's like we didn't have any bloody choice. Do you know what I mean? So we went in, but there was a kind of game plan, you know. It was like, okay, well, we're going to do 2 songs a day, and Kieran very impressively, you know, would mix each track as after he did it. So we were doing 2 tracks a day, and he would mix them. So by the 5th day, we kind of had an album that was mixed and recorded. It was kind of a new world, brave new world. Rocket Number 9, well, the collaboration was kind of like, I think, almost like hanging in the universe in a weird sort of way. I'd been writing with Cameron, you know, my husband, my partner, on many levels, and another guy, Paul Sim, and a few other people. So we had a lot of the songs. I think for me it's very much about the songs kind of have to come first in a weird sort of way. But I think that we had an idea of how we wanted the record to sound, and having made a record like The Cherry Thing with The Thing, which was the project I worked on before this record, I really felt like I'd come back to something in myself, a kind of vitality and a kind of freedom. And I think that myself and Cameron and the other people who were part of the writing process and putting the album together felt that, you know, recording it in a similar way, making the album in a kind of live process rather than a layered kind of studio record was important. And then we met Rocket Number 9 kind of through Kieran. I'd met with Cameron in Norway maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years, around The Cherry Thing, and we talked about doing some work. So he'd been sending some tracks, and then he's been releasing Rocket Number 9 on his label, and Rocket Number 9 were maybe going to come out on Small Town Super Sound, which is the label that this record is coming out on. So it was we kind of all met in this trench in there. And the first thing I did with Rocket Number 9 was a gig with where we did four tunes just to kind of try it out. And it was just, yeah, it was like they are or were the missing, no, they not are, but they were the missing piece to the puzzle in a way. And then from there it was kind of all of a sudden a very easy thing. And I think anyway, for me, I like the feeling. I mean, for me, the work is always about collaborative efforts. And so with Rocket Number 9, it was very much like just that feeling that we were kind of like a band. I mean, it tied everything together. And Kieran, I mean, of course, Kieran, for us, in a way, was the only person that we wanted to produce the record. There wasn't really anyone else. So it was just like, please, 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 please. And then, yeah, we found those 5 days, and then he was the perfect pilot for the ship, you know, the captain. Yeah, I think the organic aspect, I mean, it's funny, Don, my stepdad, had that project called the Organic Music Theater that was so sort of, and in a way, it is, I think that there is, for me, it's always vitally kind of important that the chemistry is there, and the chemistry is something very organic. I mean, that's something that you can't really procreate. You know, you can't sort of clone it. Like, either you have a vibe or you don't. And I think I'm the kind of artist that really needs to be, I mean, I'm much better. I have to feel safe, I have to feel right, and then I can start to kind of flower, you know, from there. And I think that's what happened, you know, with this family of people. You know, first writing with the people, with Cameron and our friend Paul, and being very close and at home with them, and just being able to kind of almost go into a stream of consciousness with that. And then with Rocket Number 9 and with Kieran, where it was a very kind of intimate kind of atmosphere when we were making the record. And I think it just made it possible to kind of unpeel, you know, to kind of open up, to go to a place that's genuine. I think now, yes, I think that now I feel like if I didn't take this opportunity to say these things, I would have gone crazy. And I think that, for the first time, I almost feel in a way that I can, because I think when I think about my songwriting before, maybe not so much around Raw Like Sushi, but maybe around the other records, I was very deliberate, and I had to sit and think and be very much in my own space. And I think something else happened now when I could really open up and work more freely, which allowed it really to kind of fall out.